In this video presentation, we will discuss Chapter 44 in Advanced Educational Psychology, which is about correlation. In our discussion, we will be able to know the following: definitions of correlation, types of correlation, importance, methods, and the uses of coefficient. What is correlation? Correlation is a relationship or dependence. It is the fact that two things or variables are so related that change in one is accompanied by a corresponding or parallel change in the other.
According to Ferguson, correlation is concerned with describing the degree of relation between two variables. To Lathrop, correlation is a joint relationship between two variables. To Guilford, a coefficient of correlation is a single number that tells us to what extent two things are related, to what extent variation in one go with a variation in the other.
What are the types of correlation? 1. Positive correlation. If the weight of an individual increases in proportion to increase in his height, the relation between this increase of height and weight is called as positive correlation. It ranges from 0 to positive 1. If it is 0, then there is no relation at all. When it is positive 1, then there is perfect positive correlation. 2. Negative correlation. It is just the opposite of positive correlation. If the weight of an individual does not increase in proportion to increase in his height, or if the weight of an individual decreases with an increase in height, then it is said to be negative correlation. Also ranges from 0 to negative 1. Negative 1 is perfect negative correlation. 3. Zero correlation. Zero correlation is a correlation showing no relationship, or a correlation having a correlation coefficient of 0.
Importance of correlation. Correlation is very important in the field of psychology in education as a measure of relationship between test scores and other measure of performance. With the help of correlation, it is possible to have a correct idea of working capacity of a person. With the help of it, it is also possible to have a knowledge of the various qualities of an individual. After finding the correlation between the two qualities or different qualities of an individual, it is also possible to provide his vocational guidance in order to provide educational guidance to a student in the selection of his subjects of study. Correlation is also helpful and necessary.
Methods of finding out the correlation. Various persons have suggested various methods for finding out correlation. Two methods that are prevalent and important are 1. Rank order method. 2. Product moment method.
Rank order method is differences among individuals in many traits, can often be expressed by ranking the subjects is 1, negative 2, negative 3 order when such differences cannot be measured directly. For instance, individual may be ranked in order of merit for obedience, industriousness, punctuality, honesty, salesmanship, or social adjustment. Similarly, various advertisements, color combinations, jokes, and picture which are difficult to evaluate numerically may be put in order of merit for beauty, humor, artistic quality, or some other quality. The formula for calculating the correlation by rank order method is as under. P or rho stands for coefficient of correlation from ranked differences. Summation D2 represents the sum of the squares of differences in rank, while n represents number of pairs. In order to illustrate this formula, below is an example. Table on the left shows how many pairs are there that we are going to calculate for its correlation, for us to be able to know its degree and type. For student number 1, degree of correlation is positive negative 0.00 to positive negative 0.20. Type of correlation is negligible. For student number 2, degree of correlation positive and negative 0.20 to positive negative 0.40. Type of correlation is low. While student number 3, degree of correlation is positive negative 0.40 to positive negative 0.70, has moderate type of correlation. For student number 4, degree of correlation positive negative 0.70 to positive negative 0.90 has high type of correlation. For student number 5, degree of correlation positive negative 0.90 to positive negative 1 has a very high type of correlation, while student number 6, degree of correlation positive negative 1 has perfect type of correlation.
Uses of the coefficient of correlation. The use of coefficient of correlation is very wide. In almost all social sciences, this is now being increasingly used. It is useful whenever its number of a group of individuals has been measured on 2 or more traits. It expresses at one figure the average degree of resemblance, etc., between the two traits. Its specific uses may be given as follows. 1. Prognosis or prediction. The coefficient of correlation is used quite profitably in prediction. In a number of studies, it is used to predict the success one will achieve in his further educational careers. 2. Reliability. The coefficient of correlation has been used very often to test the reliability. Through calculation of these statistics, it has been sought to be asserted whether or not a test measures on two successive occasions the same type of thing.
Free validity. A test with value can be obtained through correlation. Whenever a test is constructed, it tests not what it claims to test. This question is answered by the magnitudes of the coefficient with various criteria. For test construction, the coefficient of correlation is also being used in the test construction. Whenever a new test is constructed, there is always the questions of whether each element of the test is related to other elements or to the test as a whole, and as to whether each element is related to the criteria chosen. Those relationships are all examined through the technique of correlation. Cars with flames painted in the hood might get more speeding tickets. Are the flames making the car go fast? No, certain things just go together, and when they do, they are correlated. It is the darling of all human errors to assume, without proper testing, that one is the cause of the other. This is a quote from Barbara Kingsolver, Flight Behavior. This is Daisy Tali Hanyolan together with my group mates, Juvie Elahio Busi, Frederick Condat Busi, and Floros Siloriculus II. Thank you for watching our video. Kindly hit the like button and write your comment below.